I'm Rhiannon Jones and welcome to Showcase, where we bring you all the biggest and best news in art, culture, style and entertainment from here in London to Istanbul and across the world. Coming up on this week's show, we're in the West End to meet the fabulous star of the Tina Turner musical as she prepares to wow audiences as the gold sequin singing superstar. We bring you our top 5 rundown of the most hotly anticipated celebrity autobiographies. Esra Durus catches up with the Syrian singing sensation Lena Chamamyan. We take an in-focus look at an historic Turkish hammam-turned-art gallery. Plus, our top stories from the world of entertainment in this week's Snapshot Roundup. But let's start with Hot Ticket, and this week we head to the West End to meet Zoe Birkett, the latest sensational star to play the iconic Tina Turner in the musical about her life. Oh, and find out why it's simply the best show in town. Zoe, here we are backstage.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to talk to you here on Showcase. First of all, congratulations, because you've been nominated for What's on Stage, which is essentially equivalent to the Oscars.
It's a fab award ceremony. I've been nominated for Best Takeover for my role here as Tina in the Tina Turner musical. So it's a public vote, so people have to vote. So if you see me in the show or you follow my career, please do pop in a vote. It means the world, whether I win or not, because there's a lot of fantastic actors as well that are also nominated within my category. But it'd be wonderful to steal it.
And it's testament to just how well you are performing on stage as Tina Turner. What makes a good Tina?
Oh my goodness me! Wow. Listen, it's hard. It's very hard. So we have to do lots of research into Tina's life story. We are not a tribute by any means. We have the odd nuance here and there, but just embodying Tina, I think. I always applaud any woman who has played this role in the past. It's such a hard role. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice to make sure that you portray this incredible woman and her very powerful story as well.
It's a very personal role to you, isn't it? Not only because she's your icon, but also because she was very important to your mother.
Yes, hugely important to my mum. My mum has been a huge fan of Tina and my dad all of my life. My dad has a tribute agency, so we've seen many a Tina Turner over the years. My mum has just had such a connection with Tina and her life story because of my mum's own personal reasons. So she's always just looked up to her. So throughout my whole life, Tina has been played in the house. I've had my mum doing Tina all around the house. So to get this job and to share it with my family and have them come and support me, it really means the world to all of us.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you were saying it's a very demanding role.
Yes.
Not least physically. And you, ever since you were young, have had osteoarthritis.
Yes, yeah.
You did have an operation before you took on this role. Without the operation for the full hip replacement, could you have taken on a role that...
No, never. No, I could never have. I wouldn't be able to continue my career without my hip replacement, for sure. I had a hip replacement 3 years ago at 35, before I did a role in Moulin Rouge, because I knew I wouldn't be able to do that role. And without that, I wouldn't be able to definitely play this role. I mean, this role physically, vocally, with the fights as well. No spoilers, but there's a lot of fight scenes within Act 1. I wouldn't be able to do that at all without it. But I am osteoarthritis free, which is fantastic. 3 years now. I know down the line at some point I'll have to have another hip replacement. Yeah. Because I've had one already, I know what to go through and how to remain fit in order to go through that procedure again.
And it's not just physically demanding this role, as you've alluded to, it's emotionally demanding too. How do you cope with the trauma that you have to tell on stage that was Tina Turner's life?
Absolutely. For me, I'm a mother, and that has massively helped me, I think. Mm-hmm. I have no other choice but to go home and switch off. I can't walk in my house and still remain that emotional Tina Turner vulnerability and experiences that I've had over the last 2 hours. So as soon as I walk in the door, it's off. I'm mummy, how's your day? What's going on? Making the tea. And I think with that, it saved me mentally from being able to separate the two.
Yeah, I can imagine. What's your favourite Tina Turner song? Do you have one?
I do. I have a few, actually. I mean, within the show, I love singing Hero. It's one of my favourite songs to sing. And then I also love the early I Can Teen Review era as well. So things like Higher, Fool in Love, some of my favourite ones in Act 1 to sing as well. But there's one of my favourite Tina songs. It's not actually in the show. Steamy Windows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Steamy Windows. I love that song. That's not in the show, unfortunately. But yeah, love all of her music, to be honest, over the years.
And so you rose to fame at just 16 in Pop Idol. Was that too young? And did you cope with it?
No, I coped very well. I think because of the times that we were in, there was no online or social media. I think that's one of the main things I think that has really helped me remain, I would like to say, level-headed within the industry. And there was no Twitter, no Facebook, no trolls. So at age 16, I was able to just focus on the talent show that I was in. I was very well looked after by my parents. Whatever negative kind of newspapers that may have been out there at the time weren't too bad because I was a young child. I was only 16. So my experience, I think, was very different because of the times that we were in. And I'm friends with a lot of people who have done reality TV since, and they haven't had the same experience, unfortunately. But for me, I'm happy I did it when I did it.
And you were very lucky, and it opened the doors to this huge career in the West End. Did you always want to be a musical star, or did you want to be a pop star?
Do you know what? I went to stage school as a child, so I've always been into musical theatre. My first ever production was Roald Dahl's The Twits when I was like 10, I think I was, and I did Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. So I've always done musicals. And there's a very specific style of musicals that I do. It's very rock pop. People would say maybe jukebox. But I also do a lot of plays as well. I love doing straight acting, and that's one of the things that I love about playing Tina, is we do have her music on top of this fantastic script, which is a play. It's a play with music on top. But yeah, I mean, listen, I did the whole singing thing and releasing records, and for me, it's quite a fickle industry as well, and I just wanted to be successful. I love presenting. I do loads of presenting. And so for me, just making sure that I love what I do and enjoy what I do over the last 25 years has been important to me, and that's what I'm doing.
You've also performed in front of the royal family a few times, and inside Buckingham Palace. What was that like?
Madness. I mean, I did steal some toilet paper.
Because why not?
Why not?
I was going to ask what you stole
toilet paper. I thought I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to get a bit of toilet paper,
which you didn't use.
Which I've got. Do you know what? Speaking of which, things that we got, things that are important. Myself and Karis, the other Tina, we were actually given a pair of Tina Turner's earrings only last week from Tina's husband, Erwin Back, which is incredible.
Wow.
So we have them in a safe. That's something very special to us.
Amazing.
That's insane.
Look, so just before we go, if you could give me a little quick masterclass on how to be Tina, please.
My goodness me. You got to have a good stance for a start. Yeah, she's very, very strong. She's very proud. She's never weak.
Okay.
That's no fists. No, just nice and relaxed. And you can do a little head if you like. There you are. Yes, yeah, you're good. There we are. Oh, God.
Because she had broad shoulders, didn't she?
She was very well, very, very strong back. There you are. You're going to take my job soon, aren't you?
You're going to take mine because you're a broadcaster. Zoe, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you. You're wonderful. Well. Best of luck. Break a leg. Not good luck. Break a leg. Better let you go because you've got an audience.
I do. 2 hours. I've got to go. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're wonderful. Best of luck. What a remarkable life story Tina Turner led. And speaking of celebrity life stories, with the festive season well and truly upon us, celebrity autobiographies have once again proved bestsellers as people hit the high streets. So for this week's Top 5, we bring you a rundown of the ones tipped to top the charts. At number 5, Josh Brolin's From Under the Truck, a memoir. This unforgettable book shares details of a challenging childhood marked by the loss of his mother growing up on a ranch in California surrounded by wolves, and his rise to fame, including his breakout role in The Goonies. At number 4, Melania, soon to return for a second stint as First Lady. Melania Trump's memoir provides an in-depth account of her story so far, from her childhood in Slovenia to her career as an international model, and most anticipated of all, an insight into her relationship with husband Donald Trump. At number 3, From Here to the Great Unknown, Lisa Marie Presley's unfinished memoir, completed by her daughter Riley Keough, explores life as Elvis Presley's daughter, her personal struggles, and the adventure that came with being part of rock and roll royalty. At number 2, Al Pacino's Sonny Boy. In this memoir, the acting legend reflects on his upbringing in the Bronx, his rise to stardom, and offers up tales from his time playing a reluctant mafia boss in the Godfather trilogy. And at number 1, turning back time in her book about her incredible life story, it's Share the Memoir, Part 1. This 430-page read includes revelations about her tumultuous childhood and her relationship with ex-husband Sonny. Shares honesty and humour shine through in this book, and we can't wait for part 2. It turns out sharing really is caring. Happy reading. Right, from celebrity memoirs to Greek mythology now for this week's In Focus.
In the heart of Istanbul lies a bathhouse with a unique history. This is Zeyrek Çinili Hamam, designed by the great Ottoman architect Sinan in the 16th century. After years of restoration, it now operates as a fully functioning hammam, but it's no ordinary public space. A surprising discovery was made during the restoration. A Byzantine cistern was found underneath the hammam. Today, it serves as an artistic intervention space, currently hosting Sailing to Byzantium, an exhibition dedicated to Greek artist Alekos Phasianos. Inspired by the William Butler Yeats poem of the same name, the show takes visitors on a journey through mythology and history.
We were very lucky that the family trusted us with the first museum exhibition since the artist's passing in 2022. And it's a really big privilege and honor to be able to showcase such a comprehensive body of his work outside of Greece. We have made the selection that would respond to the history of this really particular cultural heritage building.
The curator drew inspiration from ship graffiti etched into the cistern's walls, believed to be carved by galley slaves who helped build the hammam under the command of Barbarossa, the admiral of the Ottoman Navy in the 16th century.
When I was conceiving the first show of this series, the idea was to make the stories of these mysterious graffiti more visible and make all of us think, wonder, and dream about the layers of Istanbul's history.
Phasianos' depictions of ordinary heroes resonate deeply in the space, echoing the lives of those who once traversed these chambers.
All these people who passed through underworld of the hammam, I think are still somehow part of the story that needs to be told. And Phasianos had this really unique ability to mythologize the everyday life. He depicted people from everyday scenes, everyday life, and he managed to make them kind of look like heroes.
Described by many to be the Picasso of Greece, Phasianos grew up surrounded by Byzantine iconography. His work blends Greek mythology with everyday life, rendered in bold colors and flowing lines that convey a hopeful vision of the future.
I think there is a common denominator between Yeats, Phasianos, Barbarossa, and Sinan, and I think it is, of course, my interpretation, but these four incredibly powerful characters, they all share this desire to transcend the ephemeral, transcend the mortal, and reach the immortal, the eternal, through artistic creation.
Among the 5 never-before-seen works is also Conversation on the Bosphorus, inspired by Istanbul's rich history. Sailing to Byzantium is more than an art exhibition. It's an immersive journey into the soul of a city, uniting contemporary art and ancient history in a setting like no other. Hatice Meryem Gelgör, TRT World, Istanbul.
And what a stunning project it is too. And staying in Istanbul, let's head over to Esra as she catches up with Syrian singer Lena Chamamyan.
I'm now with Syrian-Armenian singer Lena Chamamyan, who was on stage just 30 minutes ago performing live for her audience in Istanbul. Lena, what a night, and welcome to our show.
Thank you.
First off, thank you so much for making time for us just right after your concert. How are you feeling now? Like relaxed, happy, still full of energy?
Still full of energy. The adrenaline is still kicking. But the moment I entered here, it was shocking because, you know, on the sound check it was empty, and then in the concert it was sold out. But it feels weird. it's like saying goodbye to a theater is always hard.
It was sold out in no time, and now I can understand why, because you were so passionate on stage, and I had such a moving experience, and I'm sure the audience felt the same. And even though we didn't really totally understand all of the lyrics, because you sang mostly in Arabic and Armenian, what do you think it is about your music that resonates so deeply with people across cultures?
I think that we all feel the same way. We feel sadness, we feel happiness, we feel joy, we feel love. In the same way, feelings doesn't need language. For sure, when someone is speaking the same language of the song, for sure they can interact in a different way. But I believe that we can get the feelings. I listen to many of Turkish songs. I don't understand the language, but I can get the feeling and I enjoy it.
Çok teşekkürler.
Can you share a bit about your background? Because you initially studied financial management, and how did you decide to leave that path and pursue music professionally?
I always wanted to be a singer. Actually, it was a dream. When I was today on the stage, I was looking to the dress. And when I was a little girl, we have really very big festivals in the Arab world. And the singer, she was wearing something black and it looks like a star. And tonight on stage, I was feeling like, oh my God, I'm wearing the same sky. It's kind of, your dreams come true. So that was a dream for me. Studying finance and business administration, it helped me because I'm an entrepreneur at the end, but it's not just about being a singer. It's about being an independent artist, which means you need to take care of your own business by yourself. And then I started with classical music. It was also, I changed the path because I studied opera. I have a very large voice of soprano dramatic. Then I changed into that style.
So now your music blends like Arabic, folk music, Armenian traditions, even jazz, classical Western music as well. How did you come up with this idea to make this unique fusion?
The music is the reflection of my soul and my life and my experience. I've been born in Damascus from half Armenian, half Syriac family. I studied in a French Armenian school, and then I learned English. So I've been always that fusion person.
What I want to do is to keep on doing and talking and telling stories for me and for you. Every one of you should keep on talking, should keep up telling our stories and writing and saying and never stop.
You've been really vocal about social issues, including your support for Syrian refugees, for those who were affected by the last year's devastating earthquakes here in Turkey and Syria as well. And now you show your support for Palestinian people. I mean, do you feel that responsibility as an artist to bring attention to these causes through your work?
I feel responsible as a human being because I've been a victim myself. It's what happened in Syria was so hard, and I've lost my country, and I've been in France for a very long time. Until now, I'm there. In Syria, we've always been around Palestine and Iraq, and we were always surrounded, and Lebanon also. We were always surrounded by war. So I grew up in this atmosphere, and for me, it's not just a responsibility. It is the truth.
I like to ask you, did you ever feel like a refugee yourself? Because especially when you arrived in Paris in 2011, when the Syrian civil war broke out.
Yes, we are all, every immigrant is a refugee. It's so hard. It's like dreaming in a language and talking during the day in a different language, dealing with people who doesn't know anything about you, about your roots, about your food, about your language, about your culture, about your pain and about your joy. So it is so hard. it makes you grow faster.
As a Syrian-Armenian artist living in Europe, how do you define home, or where's home for you now?
It's on stage. Simply, it's on stage. That's the only stable thing I have.
Your music explores universal themes such as love, peace, resilience, and hope. So I'm wondering, how do you hold on to hope, especially in hard times like these, now that there are so many ongoing conflicts in Lebanon, Palestine?
So it's honestly music saved me many times. Without music, I was going to be alone, to be lonely with my feelings, and I have lots of feelings you can see on stage. So the most important thing is to keep doing what makes our feeling out.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for sharing your story. It was a wonderful night. I'll never be able to forget.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for being really here, because you're talking to me like a person who was on the show. You're not just like any type of questions. No, we're talking, and that's beautiful.
Thank you, Esra. Time now for a slightly festive edition of our Entertainment News Roundup Snapshot, as we take a look at some celebrity holiday traditions. Cue the festive music, please. Let's start with none other than Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa. He recently said that over the festive break, he likes nothing more than heading outdoors for a touch of rock climbing, no less, saying that his family really enjoy going wild around the world. And if that doesn't take your fancy, then maybe Mariah Carey's holiday tradition will be more to your liking. The All I Want for Christmas singer heads to Aspen in the Rocky Mountains for her festive break. She says she bundles everyone into horse-drawn sleighs for a ride under the stars, drinking cocoa and singing, of course, at the top of their lungs. The Beckhams, meanwhile, well, they say they prefer to stay indoors and cook a huge festive meal before settling down to watch the royal Christmas message on TV. And speaking of royals, an insider's revealed a rather strange regal family Christmas tradition Kate and William honour each year, and that is to stay away from each other all morning. Former royal chef Darren McGrady says that on Christmas Day, the royal family split into groups of men and women, only meeting up later in the day for church. Apparently, the ladies generally opt for a light breakfast of fruit, toast and coffee delivered to their rooms, whilst the royal men head downstairs for a hearty feed in the dining room of eggs, bacon and mushrooms, kippers and grilled kidneys to set them up for the day's celebrations. I know which I choose. Back to Istanbul now. Over to you, Esra.
Thank you, Rhiannon. In the capital of Jordan, an exhibition titled Under Fire has opened, featuring about 80 works by 4 Palestinian artists. The show illustrates the devastation of war and the impact of Israeli strikes on the Strip. Artists in Gaza have continued to create using basic materials like school notebooks, pencils, and natural dyes such as tea and coffee. Their works were transported through Rafah crossing before its closure.
The artists of Gaza have not stopped drawing since the beginning of the war. They have continued despite the inhumane conditions they face, including forced displacement, hunger, and lack of basic necessities. They continued to produce their art, draw, and express the conditions they live in.
Also in recent weeks, several celebrities have expressed their support for Palestine. One of them is John Legend. During an interview with Mehdi Hassan, the American singer called for a ceasefire, saying that he doesn't believe in collective punishment and that Palestinian lives are just as valuable as any other lives. British artist Jaslyn Kaur was awarded the 2024 Turner Prize for her contemporary artwork, exploring her Scottish Sikh identity during the ceremony picketed by pro-Palestinian demonstrators.
We needed a ceasefire a very long time ago. We need a proper ceasefire now. Arms embargo now. Free Palestine.
After winning Author of the Year at the Irish Book Awards, Sally Rooney, known for her hit book and TV series Normal People, said that she also stands in solidarity with Palestine. And during his acceptance speech at the San Sebastian Film Festival in Spain, Oscar-winning actor Javier Bardem called the situation in Gaza totally unacceptable, terrible, and dehumanizing. The list continues to grow for those who use their platform and work to raise awareness about this issue. But for now, that's all from me. Back to you, Rhiannon.
Thank you, Esra. Teşekkürler. Well, that's it from all of us here at Showcase. A big thank you to all our guests this week. And don't forget, you can catch up on all our episodes on the Showcase YouTube channel. Coming up on next week's show, we have a Showcase festive special to end your year on a holiday high. See you then.